What's up, guys? This is Cloud7470 here, bringing you a video. So tonight, I've been thinking about ideas, like I said in my video the other day, last night, whenever, I don't remember days. You guys should know that by now. So, I guess in my video, I've been kind of having problems thinking of ideas, right? So I went to Facebook and just like, give me ideas. And I got a bunch of ideas. Most of them I already had plans for in the future, but I'm waiting for a future day to do that. So, but like most of the ideas, were side deck choices right now, and like how to combat the meta, like I used to do while ago. Well, I like to do that before a big event coming up. YCS New Jersey is, like I said, about 3 weeks away, so I will definitely be doing side deck tips and analyzing current meta state at that point in time. Although, granted, I will give you this, the meta is about to just shift, but we're not going to know really until YCS New Jersey how it turns out, which that is the sneak peek for Techleon. So that state of time at YCS New Jersey will be pre-Techleon, post-Hidden Arsenal. So that is where my current meta analysis is going to come up. After Techleon is released, the whole meta is going to shift again in a bad way. So that's when, after that, when a bigger tournament comes up, what is, I think just Nationals before that. So I'll try and get a meta-analysis in between New Jersey and Nationals, and then my Nationals analysis and predictions right before then. So, but that's not what I want to talk about today. Today I wanted to talk about, like, cards that should be in your main deck. Specifically trap cards. Which trap cards are good at this point in time? Because as we know, over the state of the game, trap cards become good and go bad. We saw that last format. We saw that the format before. Trap cards go good and go go good and then go bad, and that's how it's always going to be. But I mean, you can't ever say like a trap card is terribly bad, because most of them are always live. There's a few that are not, but most of them, for the staple ones, I should say, are always live. But there are ones that have good matchups, bad matchups, ones that are bad against certain decks. You know that. You obviously know this. But what I want to talk about today is just which ones are optimal to main deck at this point in time over other ones. So we'll start off with this guy right here. The biggest one, Solemn Judgment. Lots of people, most people are 50-50 on this card right now, honestly. This card will always be good. It will always be amazing. But the downside is, is it hurting you more than it helps you? That's just player preference. This card right now, I will probably always play it. There have been several times where I have, I have cut it and then like last second put it back in because it's just like you gotta have it. But it's like this card right now is very, very iffy, and I'll tell you why. You're having to use this as your second warning most of the time, just to stop a normal summon. That's not always the greatest thing to do, and you know this. It's just to stop a summon. This isn't the greatest plan, unless you obviously have advantage. If you have advantage, then this card is godly. But to save yourself, this card is not that great, and you know this. I know this. Everyone knows this. So this card here, you have to use it smart. But if it's just like if you just use it at the wrong time, or your opponent just has better cards than you, it's going to kill you. Granted, that's not always the case. It's like my opponent could have the best cards in the world, but if he has Heavy Storm, I'm always going to solemn a Heavy Storm, unless, because there's nothing, I have nothing else. It's like, okay, you solemn after me using up 4 back row, I have 1 left, and it's this. I'm not going to solemn a Heavy Storm. But most of the time, I'm going to solemn a Heavy Storm. Dark Hole, not for much, because most people are using Dark Hole as a 1-for-1 nowadays. Granted, sometimes you do get pluses off of it, but a lot of the time it's just a 1-for-1. That I've noticed, anyway. I've noticed this in trends. And so this card here, though, like I said, hurts more than helps a lot of the time. Helps a lot, though. So this card, I would just say player preference. I know most players are going to agree with me, and they say they're always going to play it. And that goes on to his brother. Warning. Warning is very iffy for me right now. I love this card to death. I love it. I love it. Mwah. It's one of my favorite cards ever. But at 1, we lost it in March. It's like now it's down to 1. It's like I hardly ever see it, and when I do, it's dead. It's like this is a card that is just like it's like it barely works for me. There's been again several times where I have cut this and have thrown it in at the last second, and I can actually see me just cutting this card completely. I'm starting to really not like this card anymore in this current state of the game. And with the more stuff coming up, with the dragons coming out, I'm really not starting to like it even more. Same with Prophecy. So I can see Warning just going down to 0 play from now on. That's my opinion. This is all my opinion, but you know, I really can see Warning being cut and not being played anymore. Next, we'll talk about Tyranno Tribute. Tyranno Tribute is at 2. You know this. Why would you not play it at 2? Oh, cool. I can make my screen go red. Look at that. Oh, I hope you can see that. Anyway, Tyranno Tribute is at 2. Why would you not play this at 2 in any deck? There's been there's like 3 decks I wouldn't play it in, like that play traps. Like let's just say like traps or decks that play traps. There's like 3 maybe I wouldn't play it in. Samurais, and I can't even think of the other 2. Samurais is like the main one. I understand why, but this card, if I'm playing traps, I'm gonna play 2 of it. This card's too good not to. Even in Rabbit, there's always gonna be those hands where I don't open Rabbit. You know, Rabbit, Tour Guide, and 3 traps. Because this is one trap you don't want set with Logia. It's not always true. I'm perfectly happy channeling a Logia against a Mermail player that just went 5 on board. I'm like, okay, I'll lose 1 Logia. Fine, I don't care. You lost so much more. But, you know, this card I'm always going to play it 2. It's too good not to play. Same with this card. Now there is relatively no decks out right now that this card does not hurt. Prophecies is like the one deck that it's like iffy against. Windups, it's still not the greatest against, but again, it's at 2. Why would you not play it at 2? This Bottomless Trap Hole is just too good not to play. Like once again, like just it hurts almost everything. Like I said, there's like very few decks it's bad against. And if you do play against one of the decks that it is bad against, that's why we have side decking. You are more than welcome to side it out. So that's what I think on Bottomless. Alright, next, Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain is awesome right now. You've heard this from every Yu-Gi tuber out there, including myself. This card is awesome right now. Not for just the fact that it negates effects, which is awesome against like the Fire Fist deck, and not so much against Mermails, obviously, for that reason. But it hurts the Fire Fist and it hurts the Windups, which are a big factor. And it's okay against Rabbit. It's not the greatest against Rabbit, but it's okay. The main reason it's really good right now is it just stops attack. Like, just having that ability alone is awesome. I played this card last format when it was considered not good, just because it stopped attacks. Like, that is a good thing. Like, don't just use it for the effect negation. Granted, you can, because that is also an amazing feature of this card. Just stopping attacks is another amazing feature, which makes this card 100% awesome. I played it 2, honestly, player preference again. I see a lot of people playing it at 3. I don't think I would like that 3, honestly. But that is in testing, and I have not tested it, to be fair, because I have a set trap lineup, which I use for everything. So, the next card. Compulsory Evacuation Device. This card has not seen a lot of play lately, and I understand why completely. The main reason this was the most popular trap card last format was Windups. Windups are pretty much gone. Like, they're still an amazing deck. They're still top 4ing YCSs here in like left and right. It's an amazing card. Don't get me wrong, but majority of the players at a big event are going to be playing Mermails. This card is awful against Mermails. It really is. Like, sure, it hits their XYZs and Synchros, but it's like, I don't want them to have a hand. Like, I don't want to send anything back to their hand. So, like, it's like if I'm maining it and I go against wine or water, I'm only going to use it against their XYZs or Synchros. I'm never going to use it against like a Megalo or anything like that. I don't ever want to put anything back in their hand. So that's why this card is really not that great right now, just because the majority of players are playing Mermails, and this card is awful against them. Next is Mirror Force, and the exact opposite. This card was pretty dang iffy last format. It's always been a good card, but I never ever liked it. I don't like, even when this card was at 1, I never played it. It was okay. It was not great. And that's how it was last format. It was increasing in play last format, and that was because the Mermails. The Mermails are what's setting your trap lineup right now, because majority of players are going to play them. And this also hurts other decks. It actually does hurt windups pretty bad when they go and actually spam you. Prophecies, it's pretty bad against, but most are, I would say, just because, you know, Prophecies is just going to pop your back row with Priestess. But if they admit guess wrong, you have a Mirror Force. And same with Dimensional Prison. These cards are both at 2. I would always play this at 2. I play this back and forth at 1 and 2. I'm actually playing it at 2 right now, and it's pretty dang awesome. I actually really like this card right now, and I've always hated this card to death. I never wanted to play it. Now I'm playing 2 in almost everything. Same with Prison. Prison was at one time the worst card ever. Ever. And do you remember what format that was? Inzectors. That is right. But now, this card is amazing. Why? Mermails. See, you just choose off of what is going based off the best deck. Mermails are clearly the best. These are clearly the 2 best cards against them. So, definitely, that's why you see people playing 3 of this at some point, and 2, like 3 and 2. It's crazy, right? Definitely. But that is because of Mermails. These cards are amazing against Mermails. And if you are going to choose to play all of those trap cards, which I'm sure you are if you're playing a stun-based deck of some caliber, whether it be a Macro Rabbit, if you're playing Evil Swarms here in a bit, you know, Black Wings, if you're still having fun with Black Wings, Windups definitely play traps. If you're playing a deck that is maining, you know, most of these trap cards here, probably not Compulse. If you're maining multiple trap cards, you know, I would say 10 plus traps in your main deck, you should definitely be running this card. Starlight Road is still amazing. Still, I don't know why people don't like that card. It's like, yeah, it's like, you know, with Evil Swarms coming out, it's iffy because, you know, if you're playing Evil Swarms and you have Ophion on board, then Road is kind of dead, but not really, because you still get to negate their Heavy Storm or their Dark Hole or whatever. But, like I said, this guy's only at 1, so Road got infinitely times better, and it's awesome, because now Stardust Dragon is one of my favorite synchros of all time, and probably one of yours too. Probably not. A lot of you hate him. I don't know why. Stardust is amazing. But because of that, you know, warning down to 1, Starlight Road is infinitely times better. It's a great card, protects you, saves your life, and a lot of decks have problems getting over Stardust. Not really, but Stardust is a problem still. Not the biggest problem in the world, but it is a problem. I think that's all I gotta say. Traps are awesome. You should be playing traps. You know, it's just, it's the way to play, man, you know? Fucking trap cards. That's why the game was invented. I'm just kidding. I really don't know, but I really do love trap cards, and I really feel that they're a strong aspect of this game. And if you want to have a game, if you want to have a good match, a good Yu-Gi-Oh match, then play trap cards. Because you know what? You'll have some of the best matches of your life just because of trap cards. Having the out to everything is awesome. When your opponent has the out to all your answers, it's awesome. Going back and forth, great match. Unlike when you play against Mermails and you lose turn 2. Or Dragons, because that's going to happen. So, that's all I got to say. To continue playing the game good, just bring traps back. Just live it up. Throw traps and everything. I'm going to play water decks with like 17 traps. Fuck, no, I'm just kidding. That's bad. Don't do that. Unless you want to lose, but no. Seriously, though, just trap cards give you good games. And, some are good, some are bad. Play your preference. But I'm brain losing, talk can't. So that's all I gotta say. Thumbs up for trap cards, because trap cards are the way to go. Trap cards are amazing. Thumbs up for them. Leave a comment down below on your favorite trap card of all time. I don't think I could pick out of these. There's so many good ones. Let me just go through and look real quick. In all honesty, it's probably Starlight Road. I love this card. It saved me so many times more than it's hurt me, so... yeah. I'm gonna go with Starlight Road as my favorite trap card. But, once again, thumbs up for the traps. Comment below on your thoughts of this video. Give me more ideas. Keep them coming. I love your feedback. Bad or good, I love to read it. Comment below also on your favorite trap card. I would love to hear it. And we can argue back and forth on why you're wrong. I'm just kidding. You're right. I'm right. We're all right because trap cards are awesome. And subscribe to my channel for more great content like this. New videos almost whenever I feel like it. I'm just kidding. Every now and then. That's more like it. Yeah. Whenever I get around to it. But there's more to come. As you can see, 2 in a row. 2 days in a row. New video. You guys are ecstatic. And that is all I've got to say. Thank you for watching, and I love you all.